You turn your phone for me?
Yeah.
Oh, sideways. You're sideways, Jim. Turn that phone for me. There we go. Jim, how are you?
I'm good. Yourself, Rob?
I'm good, buddy. I'm going a little stir crazy, but it's business as usual for us, right? I work from the home office, and I'm working more. I'm putting in like 12-hour days. You said you're busy too down there.
Yeah, we're actually slammed, believe it or not. I didn't think it was going to be this busy, but people are just jonesing to go racing.
I like to hear that. What are you keeping busy with? Are you selling parts? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, the walk-in stuff we kind of cut off.
Yep.
But a lot of mailing out of parts. People are still ordering carts. They said, look, we're still going to take our stuff. Just let's hope this blows over quickly.
I'm happy to hear that. That's the column that I wrote on eKarting News yesterday, hashtag support karting, because people, especially if you're in Canada, we don't normally start racing until like the second week of May. So we're still over a month away from our season getting started up here. Everybody's still prepping go-karts, right? You're still putting on your decal kits. You're still buying parts. You're still getting engines rebuilt, right? Absolutely.
The toughest part is that some vendors are closed, but that really doesn't affect us because we make the majority of stuff in-house. So
you do, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
That's all. How much stuff actually do you make for your chassis? I think that's awesome.
Boy, I mean, pedals to steering blocks to steering shafts to frames.
What about
in-house too?
What about your hubs and stuff like that? Do you make your own hubs, or do you buy your own hubs?
Yeah, we work directly with a company that's about a block away.
Oh, seriously? Wow.
Less than that. So
that's awesome. It's all Rochester.
We have the capabilities of doing it in-house too, though. We have a full machine shop. So
obviously, a lot of people may not know of Coyote in the 2-cycle world, right? 4-cycle, you guys are legends, as I had said. It's 44 years in business, right, for Coyote?
Yeah, approximately. It was way before my time, but
yeah, I was born by then. You weren't, obviously. Let's talk about your origin story. And that's the one thing we'll talk about you getting into the sport, how you got into the sport, and then we'll talk about how you and your dad actually ended up buying Coyote racing products, and obviously it's now Coyote Motorsports, Coyote Racing Chassis. How did you get into sport? What's your origin story?
So I had a go-kart when I was 2 years old.
Wow.
And just driving around my parents' cul-de-sac as a kid.
Yeah.
And then eventually I started racing at around, I think, 10 or 12.
Okay.
Started to do really good. And then I ended up...
Where did you race at?
Well, at Avon, here at the local club, Genesee Valley Kart Club. And then started running the Gold Cup, the WK Gold Cup Series.
Nice. Yep.
And had a lot of success. And then, got noticed. And believe it or not, Chris Carroll, who drives for us today, played here when I was 16 years old in high school.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And we're still very close today.
What did you do? What did you do when you got hired at 16 to work at Coyote? What were you doing?
Assembling hubs, sorting wheels. Oh, my goodness. It was, but I'll be honest. Today I wish I was just sitting there and assembling hubs and could punch out at 5 and show up at 8 in the morning,
Yeah, I know that deal for sure. I still answer the phone at 11 o'clock at night when somebody calls me. I get it. So you go to work for Coyote. Obviously, you're in it deep at that point. So where do you go from assembling hubs, being an employee, to buying them?
So Wayne, the original owner, had Huntington's disease, and he ended up, he was still with us, but at the end of the day, the opportunity came up to purchase it when I was in college, and we just went for it. My dad and I had some help from my dad. I put everything I had into it, and away we go.
And the amazing, the amazing thing that when I first started as a journalist in the mid '90s, Coyote was huge, right? Like winning races, championships, Gold Cup, Manufacturers Cup, like just winning races across the country. You pick it up, put your flavor on it. You start doing do the design work with the crew you have there. But you guys haven't lifted off the throttle at all. Like you're still one of the dominant chassis in 4-cycle competition.
You really can't. There's so much competition out there. You really can't. I mean, it's pretty cutthroat. I've got a lot of people behind me that help us out. From the staff here to all the team guys with Ryan Cassidy and Kleeman and Harrell and Meyer and Boone and all the rest of the guys. Zobq. So we have and many more.
You got some good drivers, that's for sure.
We've got some really good drivers, and we've had a lot of success. So we haven't looked back, and it's the friends and the people that keep it going because
no doubt.
It's a tough business.
Yeah,
it's a real tough business. But.
And again, my whole call about supporting karting, I don't think people realize that because it's funny. People always say to me, and I'm sure you'll understand this. They'll go, "Oh man, Rob, I would love to have your life. You're in motorsports 24/7. It's awesome." I said, "There's one trade-off." I say, the people that love karting, and you work all week, and then you get to go to the racetrack. It's that escape from your world, right? You can't wait to go to the track on Saturday morning or leave on Friday night, whatever it may be. And I always say the only downside is I never get that. Because when I go to the track, it's work, right? You're going for work. And we love it. It's awesome. But we don't have that. We don't have that escape where, man, we get to leave our job and go to the track, right?
Right. I was just talking to Chris Rillo over at Snap Your Neck Clutches this morning, and he's just flat out slammed as well. And
really,
he's got some clutches because I use all his clutches and stuff like that, and he does some motor stuff. But he's flat out too. Everyone's just busy.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. We need that. Folks, if you're just tuning in here right now on our IG feed today, a legendary name, Coyote Racing Chassis, Jim Lipari, the owner, with us here, and thrilled to have him joining us on the IG because obviously David Cole and I are big four-cycle guys. Our whole Operation Grassroots, we love going four-cycle racing. I got to get myself behind the wheel of a Coyote pretty soon and have some fun. There you go. Prop that thing up. There you go. There you go. That works. So I love all these guys coming on here. Chris coming on, #Coyote fam. I love that. That's great. Let's talk about the new chassis. Let's talk about the Combat. New cart. Is it new for 2020?
It is. So there's two carts. The Zenith, which is a little more of a European style cart with the traditional C style yokes.
Yeah. And
the Combat. They're both really fast carts. We've got some new designs in them. The Combat's been around for a little while, but we revamped it a little bit for 2020, and the Zenith is just really taken off. We've did our homework. We've kept a lot of stuff undercover, and now we're ready to launch that. So they're both smoking fast carts.
So the Zenith is brand new for this year?
The Zenith is brand new for this year. We introduced it a little bit last year.
Okay.
But this year, the Combat and the Zenith, I'm going to go to the track with both because they're, I've had really good luck with both.
Let's talk about the R&D on the Zenith. Who's obviously you're behind the wheel, but who else is it? Is it your primary guys that go to the track when you're trying out new stuff?
So there's kind of two different. As far as the Zenith goes, Chris Carroll's probably been the most. He's done the majority of the R&D with that.
Okay.
And he's had a lot of success. And then on the Combat side, it's Ryan Cassidy has just really has helped us out a ton. And we've
legend right there.
We've been to Mid-State and worked with Ryan.
Okay.
Last year I've been down and worked with Chris. Last year drove to Jacksonville, threw a prototype in the back of a Subaru. Because it was just, weather was so bad up here.
Yeah.
And it was just, the weather was so bad, I said, man, I'm not going to make it if I have a two-wheel drive dually. So, threw it in the back and shipped one to him, and we went down and tested with, Brad Farmer and all those guys.
That is awesome. So tell me about the Zenith. The Combat.
Mm-hmm.
So the traditional C yokes on the Zenith. What's kind of the highlights of the Combat chassis?
The Combat is, it's more of a traditional four-cycle style chassis.
Okay.
Without going into detail, it has the Coyote adjustable caster camber yokes.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Which is the easiest thing to adjust, but some people just won't, haven't wanted to try it. So
it's weird. It's weird, isn't it? Because that kind of technology and innovation from the dirt world, right? From the oval world, they always have.
That's a Heim joint front end.
Skip. Fill me in on yours then. Talk more about it. People understand about it. I want to hear about it.
Well, I wonder if I have one here.
There you go.
You know what? Yeah, why don't you grab me?
Grab one. We got time. We've got nothing but time.
Right. Right. We're social distancing, though.
That's it.
Put it over to me. We've got
some. Oh, okay. And I know exactly what you're talking about. I love it.
Hand sanitizer.
Dude, no kidding, right?
Yeah, we just on totally separate sides of the building, except for right about now when he's got to toss the yoke. But I promise you, he'll clean it off.
Oh, I'm looking at it online now, folks. If you are tuning in, he's going to grab it and show you right now. It's coyotecarts.com if you want to go look at the stuff. But yeah, have a look at that. Okay. Yeah,
so this is what we've had for quite a long time, and it's probably the easiest yoke to adjust on the market. With concentric pills at the top for your camber, and you just loosen 4 jam bolts, and you can adjust your caster really.
Damn, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So, but now the Zenith hat incorporates the snipers, which is a real easy piece to adjust, and we've got some really trick pieces for 2020 for the front end of that.
Speaking of 2020, what were you going to do? What are you going to do? What are some of the races that you guys are looking at saying, man, I got to be there?
That's a really good question. I guess we just got to wait and see what happens.
Were you planning on doing the Brickyard, Cup Carts North America, the
Cup Carts
Cup?
North America? Dependent. So my sister is pregnant and having a baby, so the Brickyard was kind of a maybe.
Oh, okay, so it's right in that area.
Right.
What is she doing to you?
I'm telling you, she's killing me.
Come on. What other events that you were looking at potentially going down to?
Well, all the Cup Carts, a lot of the Maxis too.
Yeah, okay.
We're looking into that. But those end up flying down. We're gonna, plan to start a new arrive and drive.
Okay.
A little bit smaller. We're not going to do 20 people at once, but we want to be able to focus on who we've got when we do that. And
I like that. So there's going to be a Coyote Arrive and Drive with the factory, with all your guys, with Chris, with Ryan, all the badasses.
Yep, as many of those guys as I know Ryan planned to run. The CKNA and Carol and Meyer are usually down with the Maxis stuff.
Yeah.
Hang on one second. I'll grab my charger.
Go for it. Your phone's going to die pretty soon. Trust me, I get that. I've had to go low power a couple times. Folks, if you're just tuning in here right now, get a chance to talk. We're 60 minutes in, so a couple more minutes here with Jim Lipari from Coyote Racing Chassis. As I said, go to coyotecarts.com. You charging up?
Yeah, charging up as we speak.
Awesome. Listen, let me give me your thoughts on, because this is actually pretty cool, because you guys, there was 2-cycle racing back in the day. You guys focused pretty much on 4-cycle racing, right? So what are your thoughts on the explosion of 206? I know you guys have done pro gas and stuff like that as well. The whole gamut of the Briggs power plant, some of the prep stuff. But damn, this 206 thing's absolutely exploding. These events with just 40, 50, 60, 70 carts in the field. It's just awesome for the sport.
It's absolutely incredible. I've run what was that race over at Dismore's, the RoboPound 200 a couple of times. And, the cost to run that is just astronomical. And with the cost, I don't blame people for going over to this 206. I mean, why not? I mean, it's consistent. I think it's tough with some of the rev limiting stuff. I think it makes we got our wish. Racing is close. It's too close now. Yeah, but
I hear you.
There's such a thing.
But some guys are talking about having a super stock motor or something like that. Just that little extra. I know Jim at Faster Motors has got a package he's putting together. Just a little bit more horsepower. Not a lot more money, but a little more horsepower. Kind of that next step up, but it's still 4-cycle.
I think that's a great idea. My only complaints with the 206, honest, is the fact that it's quiet. Racing engine is supposed to sound like an Indy car, not a what's that E-race? What's that electronic car?
Yeah, I hear you. Formula E. I know.
It drives me nuts.
Drives me crazy
racing, but I want it loud.
I agree. So what do we need? Do we need a big pipe on it or what?
That's right. That's what I say.
That's an interesting idea. Just trust me. I love the sound when back in the day, especially the stockers, or when you're some of the old stock. What do you call it? The stockers, the Briggs stockers. Holy mackerel! When going for those are wild to watch on the dirt, on oval, on sprint. The limited mod stuff is pretty cool. I like that stuff.
Oh, it's great. It's my favorite. I've run that a bunch of times, and nothing like reaching back and almost getting your arm ripped off by a tire. And
that's hilarious. Hey, let's wrap things up. We're 18 minutes in. Let's talk about wrap things up with your success in the Champions Cup. You guys have been super strong. Greg Jasperson and Steve Vermeer have done such a good job with it, with the CKNA program. And we'll wrap up and talk about the Grand Nationals at the end, though. But you guys, a couple championships last year, I think, on the Champions Cup program?
We did. A lot of race wins. There was, I believe, Tim Huss, Ryan Cassidy got some wins. I believe that was it. I could be wrong. I didn't. I'm kind of just doing this off the shoulder here. But,
I like it like that. That's good. Don't need to prep too much.
Those guys did great. We had a lot of wins in the CKNA. It was tough. A lot of our guys, had a limited schedule. I know Scotty Kleeman had another baby, and Blake Boone was busy for a few of the races. Myself, it's kind of just throwing it together because we're just I'm trying to work with customers, but race at the same time.
I know.
I mean, those events are so much fun, as well as the Masters. But we've as far as our location, it's promoted us to go more to CKNA, but they're both series are just awesome.
That's awesome. And what about the Grand Nationals? Let's wrap with the Grand Nationals, man. Just to have that many cars there last year, the vibe at that race. And David Cole and I both got a chance to race. Just absolutely love running Masters. I know you were there as well, but the vibe in that race, I just feel, especially even now, more people are dying to go back. There's going to be. What do you think about the race? Yeah, I'm here. Just a phone call. I just got rid of it. Grand Nationals. Let's talk about the Grand Nationals and we'll wrap up. What do you think of the Grand Nationals?
So the Grand Nationals last year was just absolutely incredible. I shouldn't say that. I have seen M100, but it was a little bit different. When it's a 200-lap race, people are usually a little bit more careful.
True enough.
First quarter, but it was incredible to see that. I mean, the race, Sean Meyer, he did real well for us in one of the big classes.
Yeah, agreed.
Unfortunately, he got run off the track in the feature, but, he did real well, and it was tough because it went from sun to rain to cold to hot to all within 2 hours.
It was wild. Yeah.
So that threw another wrench into it, but it was a blast.
We look forward to this year for sure, Bud. I appreciate you taking the time. I know you guys are busy as hell. Thank you so much for coming on here. I wanted to get you guys on here. I wanted people to talk about Coyote. Give them a chance. How do they follow you on social media?
We're on, Coyote Motorsports 585 on Instagram, and just Coyote Karts or Coyote Motorsports is the Facebook.
There you go, folks. You know how big of a fan I am of domestic chassis, American-made chassis. I think it's always a huge thing. You've got to have a great domestic product, and you guys have got one, Jim. Congratulations to you and the whole crew, Chris and everybody over there. You guys are keeping the Coyote name up front. 44 years, Coyote's been part of the American market. Congratulations. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much, and appreciate you having us on, Rob.
Folks, go have a look at it, folks. I'll get rid of Jim here. Thanks, bud. Great to have you with us. We'll drop Jim. Let him go back to work. CoyoteKarts.com, folks. Again, a legendary name in this sports. It's huge in the four-cycle world. Like I said, a couple of wins last year.